Hello everybody, my name is John. I want to welcome you to Distilled Brew and Review. Today we're doing a beautiful coffee review, ContempoRoast Esmeralda. All right, beautiful coffee company, ContempoRoast Coffee and Roastery in southwestern Ohio between Dayton and Cincinnati. And how did I find this place? Well, I started doing a 50-state coffee journey USA where I was picking one coffee to represent each state in the country. It took me 2 years to do this. I'm still doing it as this is being published. But when I got to this coffee, and I had some great ones, man, this one stood out above and beyond. And so it quickly became my favorite, and I made a whole playlist for this, just for this ContempoRoast coffee to feature all their coffees. There's so much that goes on with this. To talk about this one, this coffee company, it's independent, family-owned and run business, the Hofbauers. Mindy, who's the president of the company, an Air Force veteran. She runs marketing. Does a heck of a job with that, I can tell you that right now. Communications, vendor relations, and wholesale accounts. Her son, Andy Hofbauer, he does roasting, bean selection, and coffee shop operations. And let me tell you something. When he puts the flavor profiles on there, me and him are almost like twins when it comes to that. We have the same palate. Just put it that way. Pretty fascinating. And then the husband and the father of Andy, Greg Hofbauer. He manages financials, roasting, and works events. Family owned, so they're all kind of doing everything. I like that they value their employees there. I like to brag about them because I love this company. And how do they take care of it? Well, they offer health, dental, vision, health savings account, which they match, a 401k with a match, paid time off, and other benefits for coffee people. I mean, that's pretty unique. They're highly selective about where they get their beans. They're very careful about the growers and the the producers and the exporters, because they only deal with fair trade people like that. Let me see. They use the greenest roaster currently on the market. They're K-pods. Their K-pods are fully compostable. All right. But that's great. But they're also, and I weighed them. I took them apart and weighed them and weighed some others. They got more coffee in them than almost every coffee pod. Freshly ground, put in that pod, sent straight to you for convenience if you're going to use a pod. And they got extra coffee in there that's fresh. They got good pods, man. If you got to use a pod, that's the place to go. Let me see. They do, of course, they serve their coffee in their shop. They do farmers markets. They do wholesale, coffee bean sales, local natural history museum. They're in there. The Recplex, they're in there. They're on grocery store shelves, and they're even in the local Harley dealership. They make special cool blends for them. So the place is beautiful. I love it. I love their coffees. You're going to have to go online and check them out and order them. They're really good. So what do we got here? The region of this, Honduras, actually, is where this coffee's from. Natural anaerobic is the process. Let me see. 1,750 meters is the altitude. 100% Arabica beans. De la Finca Comayagua. I know I screwed that up. Is the importer / farm. See, they tell you everything on here, man. They tell you it all. So if you're into coffee a lot, if you're not to where you don't care about all that, that's a lot of information. So what? Then just enjoy it. Because we're talking about, oh man, a balanced acidity. How about apple, brown sugar, macadamia nut, and with a sweet finish? My favorite, that's the review. I mean, I'm obviously impressed with the place. I love all the way they source their beans, the way they blend their beans, if it's not single origin. The love that goes into the roasting, what they do before they ever think of serving it with the cupping and the tasting. Just the effort that they put in this really shows, and that the way they can tease out these flavors by roasting them. It's incredible. These coffees, if you're not usually a black coffee drinker, these are so good that you can drink them black to get that pure flavor like this. And tell you, when they roast it, you order it, they roast it, they send it to you. You can get whole bean, or you can get ground, or you can get K-cups. And I always say this, it's an amazing thing. When you walk to the I got my mailbox outside. I walk to it about 3 feet from the mailbox. I'm smelling the coffee coming out through the mailbox. That's how fresh and delicious it is. You've never had, if you've been to a grocery store, you've never had anything like this. When you roast it, or excuse me, when you brew it in the house, whether you're using the K-cup or whatever method you're using, as you do pour over / French press, the whole kitchen smells good. I mean, the kitchen smells good. My little grandson runs in. Oh, he knows what the coffee smells. He loves the smell of it. ContempoRoast got their stuff together. My favorite region was Hawaii. You gotta be careful with that, all right? There's a lot of shenanigans. But if you get the right roaster from Hawaii, I like beans grown there. But they have done such a great job sourcing their beans and the way they roast them and the way they sometimes blend them, and even when they don't blend them in a single origin, that they've got me falling in love with all these other regions around the world, because there's a hell of a difference when they do it. If you've never had one like this, a family-owned, that all know what they're doing, put all that love and effort into it, even like a big chain that isn't, I don't want to mention names, but that you go in, you get the coffee, it's roasted somewhere else and sent to them. It's not the same. They roast giant batches. They don't experiment much because they can't. The batches are too big. They can do experimentation here to get the perfect roast level for that region, the perfect blend, and they roast it fresh right now. It's a big difference. It's just fantastic. I can't say enough about it. Anyway, first comment, I'll put their link to their website. Go on there, order some of their coffee. Go on their playlist, watch their coffee, see what sounds good to you. They'll have descriptions of their coffee, actually, when you click on it. And then if I've reviewed it, and I'm trying to get all their coffees because I love them, drink along with me and tell me what you think. Now, do these coffees hold up to cream and sweetener? I love cream. I don't usually put any kind of sweetener in there, but I can tell you this. They're so bold and they're so rich with the flavor that stuff just enhances the flavor, if you like that. I love cream. That brings out even more flavor. Just adds the creaminess and the vanilla to it, to a coffee. So I love to use heavy cream. But they've got me drinking it straight now because I love them both ways. I really do, because they make such a good coffee. But I put some honey in some of them just to see, and it just doesn't hide the flavor. It just adds to part of it. Try it. See what I'm talking about. Check out the playlist. If you live anywhere near here and the places I mentioned to you, go there. Have a nice cup. Right? You're going to love it. And if you don't, order it online. I tell people I don't get anything for this. You don't even have to mention my name. You don't have to say John sent me or John from. Just order it and you'll love it. All right? So that's my service to you all. And I will see you on the next one. I can't wait to try the next one of this.